Good morning, students. So today we are going to start the chapter number 2 of the class 8 microorganisms, friend and foe. So in these chapters we will be discuss about the what are the microorganisms, and then we will try to classify the microorganisms, and then we will be discuss the its friend natures and its foe natures. What are the certain type of microorganisms which are helpful to us, and what are those microorganisms which are harmful to us. Okay, we will be classify them. So I think we should have to start the microorganisms. If I will see there, the microorganisms are consist by the two terms. One is the micro, second is the organisms. So micro means is the very small, and organism means living things. Okay, we know that. So we can say those living things which are very small. So how much small? They are very small, so we cannot see through our naked eye. Okay, and we require or we need a microscope to see them. So they are known as the microorganisms, where we require a microscopes. Okay, if we discuss about its friends and the foreign natures, there are some microorganisms which help us to making some substances as a friendly behaviors, and there are some microorganisms which are harmful to us, which cause some diseases, and they are as a foreign natures. If I take about some common example of the beneficial nature of the microorganisms, they help us in making of food, like the curd. They will help us in making some cheese, bread, and cake, and alcohol, and vinegar, and etc. Okay, so they help us in the making of some food substance like the curd, cheese, bread. Okay, we will be discuss it in the next classes and briefly. Now the second is its harmful natures. They are harmful, like they cause some diseases in the plants, in the animals, in the human beings. If I take some common examples which we see in the human beings, like the cough, cold, okay, like typhoid and polio, and some another example. Okay, so there are large number of the disease which we caused by the microorganisms. We will be discuss it in the next class, but in today class we are trying to classify the microorganisms. So we generally classify the microorganisms into the 5 groups, in which in the 5 groups. One is the bacteria, second one is the viruses, third one is the protozoa, fourth one is the algae, and fifth one is fungi. Okay, so that is the large groups names. If we are talking about the large group of the microorganisms, that will be called the bacteria, viruses, protozoa, algae, and fungi. If we talk about a single particular species of the microorganisms of the bacteria, so we will call, if I'm writing here the singular. Okay, the singular word for the bacteria, that is bacterium. Singular word for the viruses, you know that the viruses means lots of virus, and its singular is virus. Protozoa singular is protozoan, algae, alga, fungi singular is fungus. So if I'm talking the fungus, it means I'm talking about the one microorganism. Fungi is large group of the fungus. So I think you get the meanings. We will be discuss here one by one. So firstly, I will be trying to explain the bacteria. Bacteria is a microorganism. We know that is a very small. So we will be see it through the microscopes, and if I try to explain its structures, they are the unicellular. Firstly, they are the unicellular means they are consist by the single cells. I think you know the meaning of the single cells. Sorry, you know the meaning of the cell. Cell is the smallest unit of the living things, and they are generally consist by the single cells. So that's why they are the majorly unicellular. Unicellular means single cell. Suppose if I take the common, I just randomly draw the bacteria like this, okay, that is a cell of the bacteria. So that the outer surface that will be known as the cell wall, which protect it from the surroundings, and there are some another part of also a bacteria. There are a nucleus and some another part is also. But in the bacteria case, there is not a proper structures of the inner part of the cell. They have a definite shell wall. Okay, so that is the structure of the bacteria. If I take some beneficials of the bacteria, so two bacteria are generally beneficial to us. First is the lactobacillus and second is rhizobium. They are the beneficial, or we can say they are the friends of human beings. Okay, so how the lactobacillus help us? The lactobacillus is a microorganisms which help us to making the curd. Okay, it help us in making of the curd from the milk. When we add some small quantity of the curd into the warm milks, then it will be start to reproduce, and then it will be increase the numbering of microorganisms, and then we will get the curd. So curd we get from the lactobacillus microorganisms. If lactobacillus is a bacteria, okay. If we talk about the rhizobium, rhizobium is also a beneficial bacteria, and how it is help us? The function of the firstly, the rhizobium bacteria are generally found in the root of some specific plants, and the function of the rhizobiums, they generally get the nitrogens from the environment and it convert into the nitrogen salt, and these nitrogen salt is essential for the plants growth. So plants will be take the nitrogen salt from the soils and use it for the making of food. And the function of the rhizobium, it will absorb the nitrogens from the surrounding and make it into the nitrogen salt. So definitely they will also act as a beneficial for us, because it is helping in the food making process of the plants, and we know that plants are the only source of the food. So I think you get the meaning, lactobacillus and rhizobium, how it help us for the making of foods. If we talk about some harmful nature of the bacteria, it cause some diseases, some disease like bacteria, uh, we can say food poisoning. Okay, food poisoning is a common example which we generally get by the bacteria, and some another example like yeah, food poisoning and typhoid. When we get the rusted food, or we can say when we get the spoiled food, then we get the typhoid and TB and some etc. Okay, so tuberculosis, that is known. So there are some harmful effects also of the some bacteria. They cause some diseases, very dangerous diseases. Now I will try to explain about the viruses. Okay, I think you understand it. Now we will just try to understand about viruses. The second one, virus. If we compare the bacteria and virus, so virus are very tiny, very small comparatively to bacteria. Suppose this is the structure of bacteria and this is the structure of virus. So virus are very small comparatively bacteria, and we know that bacteria is made up by the cells. So we can say the virus are less smaller than a cell. So it has not a proper cell. It has not its own cells. Okay. So if you will see the structure of the virus in the copies, so some virus will be like this kind of the structures. If you will see like the COVID virus, that will be represent like this kind of structures. Okay, so they have not a proper cell wall. If you will be see there, the bacteria has a cell wall proper which protect its surrounding, but if in the case of the virus, they have not a proper cell wall, they have not a proper cells, they have not a proper functions. Okay, they are, or we can say they do not show, they do not show any characteristics, do not show any characteristics of living things on non-living things. The meaning of that, the viruses does not show any living thing characteristics. Okay, living thing characteristics, the characteristic of living things. What are those characteristics? Like the feed, grow, reciprocation, okay, and reproductions. We know that all these kind of the characteristics of any living things. If there is a living things, that it will be feed up, that it will be required grow up, okay, it will be reciprocate, it will be reproduce. But if I talk about the viruses, when they are on the non-living object, suppose a virus that is present on this whiteboard, so it will not show any living thing characteristics. If a virus present on this whiteboards, it will not be feed, it will not be grow, it will not be reciprocate, it will not be reproduce. But if this virus will get enter in a living things body, like a human, like a animals, any living things, then it will start reproduce, reciprocate, feed up. Okay, so it will be start to feed from the cell of the living things and it start to reproduce. In a very short times, it will increase the large number of the viruses. Okay, so I think you get the meanings, how viruses are functions and what are the size of the virus comparatively to the bacteria. And there are some certain diseases which we cause from the viruses, like cold. Okay, cold is a common example which we get from the virus. HIV, cold, polio, okay, and there are large number of them like hepatitis B, rabies, okay, rabies, hepatitis B, and there are some another diseases of for also. Okay, so I think you get the meanings, chicken pox and measles. Now we will be discuss about the third. The name is protozoa. Third one is protozoa. So we classify the protozoa as a family of tiny animals. It is not a animals, but they are generally belong to tiny animals families. Why? Because all the characteristics of the animals we will see in the protozoa. Animals are the living things and they will show all the characteristics like the feed, they grow, they reciprocate, okay, they reproduce. All these characteristics we will see in the protozoa. Protozoa example like amoeba, paramecium and plasmodium. Okay, so amoeba, if you will see in your books, these are like this kind of the structure. They have not a proper shapes, but the function of the amoeba will be followed by these characteristics. They will be feed up, they will be get their food from the surrounding, they will be reciprocate, they will be inhale oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide, they will be grown up and they will be reproduced. So all these protozoa will be follow over these characteristics. If I take the its harmful effect, protozoa, they are the animals, definitely they will be harm to us. Okay, so plasmodium is the cause of malaria disease. So I think you know that the malaria is generally malaria is we get from the mosquitoes. When a mosquitoes bite in our bodies, then we will get or then we will infected by the malaria. But what exactly happened there? We know the mosquitoes are live in the dirt area or dirt waters. Protozoa are generally found in the dirt, dirty water. Okay, where you will be see the dirty water, like in the lake, pond, river, anything. If there is a small hole and there is a dirty water is present, so definitely there will be the protozoa. And we know mosquito are generally grown up this dirty area, dirty waters. Okay, so the mosquitoes they are bite by the stings. Okay, so they have a stings. So their stings contain some plasmodiums. When they bite on our bodies, the plasmodium is entering our body and then we get infected. So generally we are getting the disease from where? From this protozoa. Okay, so I think you are getting mosquitoes are the just mode of the this disease. It does not contain the malaria. Malaria we get from the plasmodium. So I think you get the meaning of that. There are some another like the diphtheria is another example of the diseases which we get from the another protozoa. Now we will be discuss about the next fourth algae and the fungi. I will try to explain both simultaneously, algae and fungi. Okay. Why? Because both belong to plants family. I will be right here. They belong to plants family, so I will be call it the tiny plants. They will not be called tiny plants, but they belong to plants family. Like that plants, so they will be tiny plants. Suppose the algae is a green color substance. I think you have seen near the bank of water substance like the rivers, pond and lakes. You will be see there are green types of the substance. Okay, so these green color substance that is known as the algae, and they contains the chlorophyll, and they make their food by the photosynthesis. So those tiny plants which contains the chlorophylls, they will make their own food by the photosynthesis. They will be known as the algae, and algae is green color substances. Okay, so the common example of the algae is Spirogyra. Spirogyra is generally found in the near of water sources. That is the green kind of the substances. If we talk about the fungi are also the tiny plants, but I think you know that we generally classify the plants into the two groups. One, if I explain you, we generally plant classify into the two groups. One are the homotrophic on the basis of their mode of nutrition. One are the homotrophic, second one is the heterotrophics. Okay, heterotrophic. Okay, so the mode of the nutrition. Homotrophics, those plants they will get their own food. They will be make their own food by the photosynthesis. They will be known as the homotrophic. So we can say algae is the homotrophics, and those plants, I mean the heterotrophic, those plants they will get their food by the other sources. Okay, they will not make their own food. They depend on the other substances. So they will be known as the heterotrophic. If I talk about the fungi, suppose if I take a log of the wood and I let it into the moisture area, into the rainy seasons, okay, for a 2 week or 3 weeks. So definitely there you will be seeing or you will be observed there are a small tiny umbrella type structures like this, or there will be a white in color. Okay, when you will let a log of the wood, so that is known as the mushroom. Mushrooms are generally grown up on the dead plant or dead animals part. So fungi is generally grown up or they get food from the dead plant or dead animals. Okay, the common example are the mushrooms. And why mushroom is grown up on the part of the plants, okay, dead part of the plants. There are some another examples of the fungi. The yeast is also grown up on the food substance. Suppose if I give you a bread and I will say you have to put it into the moisture area for a few weeks, not a few weeks, for a single week. Okay, in the 7 days you will be observe a green color layer on that. So these green color substance will be known as the yeast. Okay, that is the attack of the fungi. It is a type of the fungi. So the yeast is green color substance. Okay, another example is yeast, mushrooms, and another example are what we call penicilliums. Okay, molds is a group of the fungi, and the common example in the molds are penicillium. So penicillium is also used in the medicines. Penicillium is used in the making of some medicines that is known the antibiotics. So that is also made by the fungi. Okay. So some fungi are beneficial to us and some fungi are harmful to us. Like fungi cause a disease, the name is ringworm. Okay, I think you know the ringworm. When there is some red color substances, smalls, and there are the itching surface. Okay, so that will be known as the ringworms and some other diseases also. Okay, so I think you get the meaning of that. And the beneficial of that, it is generally used in the making of some antibiotics. Antibiotics which we generally use to kill the bacteria, that is known as the antibiotics, and that is made by the some fungi. Okay, so that are also beneficial to us. If you talk about the algae, that is the Spirogara, that is the common example. We generally found in the near the water source, and they have not a properly plant structures. They have not a root, they have not a stem, they have not a leaves, they have not any structures of the plants, like, okay, so they have generally small part, and that will be make the photosynthesis. I think you get the meaning of that. Fungi and algae both belong to the tiny plants. They have a heterotrophic mode of nutrients, they have a homotrophic mode of nutrition. Okay, I think we have complete here, and if you have any questions you can ask. Okay, thank you.